So how do you feel about this subject?
I feel like in 50 years from now, we're going to be looking back on it like we do lobotomies.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for what you're doing. I'm a high school student. I'm just visiting today, but
Awesome.
God bless you. This is amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank
Great
you.
day, guys. You're doing what you're doing.
What makes it right for a law to say that certain children are forced to transition because the society doesn't like how they were born? But
No one's forcing anyone to transition.
I was forced onto hormones at age 12. Nice try. That is an extremely common thing that happens to intersex
So what's the
children.
name of your DSD?
Why do you think you have any right
Yeah,
to know
you
that?
Well,
don't.
she's talking about this.
My
She's making
pronouns
this
are
a
he,
subject
they.
of the conversation.
NCAH, also known as non-classical congenital adrenal hyperplasia.
Okay. So
It's a disorder of sexual development. It is one that does not appear at birth. However, it is recognized as an intersex condition. It is akin to congenital adrenal hypoplasia, which is a normal intersex condition. It appears in infants with XX chromosomes and gives them ambiguous genitalia and hyperandrogenism.
I got you.
And it actually affects up to 5% of the traditionally female population.
So it impacted your estrogen production?
Yes.
So they gave you estrogen.
Yes,
Right.
without
because
my consent.
Okay, but you are female though, so they gave you estrogen.
No.
Well, you are. You're XX. You're
No,
female.
we don't know that.
If you as a little girl were a tomboy, which half of women were, if you wanted to climb trees and play in the dirt and throw on
Or
a
if you're
football
gay.
and play with the boys, you're a beautiful girl. But this whole ideology, the flaw with this entire ideology from the outset, is that it teaches that it's things like the toys you play with that are a determining factor in your gender. And it's not just me saying this. I've got the doctor of the most prestigious gender clinic at the top-ranked children's hospital in the country, Boston Children's Hospital. Her name's Dr. Jeremy Carswell. She's on video talking about how it's things like a little girl trying to pee standing up, a little boy who doesn't want to get a haircut, playing with the opposite gender toys, or trying on a sibling's clothing. These are a sign your child is transgender. What the heck do toys have to do with your gender?
We had a woman
That's so
yesterday.
aggressive and sexist and ridiculous.
I just want to point out one thing that's really important in this conversation is the first word in the billboard.
Yeah.
He's not telling people who are consenting adults, an 18-year-old. He's strictly talking about children.
Yeah. And non-conformity does not require a chemical castration drug.
My very good friend is someone who has complete adrenal insensitive syndrome.
All right.
Was born with female genitalia. Was born produces estrogen levels akin to that of women. Has XY chromosomes.
I'm still
So-
maybe I'm not tracking the conversation.
this
I'm,
doesn't
I'm,
have
we got a
anything
little
to do
bit
with
off.
it.
I'm trying to figure.
Children-
This is a
Okay,
common
we go back to
tactic trying to change the subject
No,
from
the reason
children who
puberty
don't
blockers
have disorders of
exist-
sexual development to intersex
No,
conditions.
it's called
Because
the
they can't
reason
actually
that-
discuss this
Okay,
subject
so
at hand. They have
let's.
to change
Can we?
the
Is
topic.
it possible to talk about this as opposed to
Yes,
something
because
else?
do you know why puberty blockers exist?
Yeah, I do.
Why were they made?
They were made to treat prostate cancer and then endometriosis and uterine fibroids in women. They've also been given to sex offenders to chemically castrate them. But they've never been approved for this purpose.
That is
I mean,
untrue.
a lot of things.
Of course it's not.
So,
I'm
really
still
quick,
would like to
what is
talk
the
about
truth?
this.
Really quick, could you tell us the truth on it?
That is a reason that puberty blockers were made. Puberty blockers are regularly used in conditions in which children develop early puberty. So when people
Yeah, they've
talk,
been given to kids for precocious puberty.
yes,
So precocious puberty is a condition where girls under the age of 8, boys under the age of 9 are entering into puberty. Again, this
And
is
you
a
know
what
why those
again, this
happen.
is whataboutism. This has nothing to do with what I'm talking about
but
here.
if you're
I'm not
if,
talking about
but
kids.
if children can't consent to puberty
If you
blockers,
could please
why
stop
can't
cutting me
they?
off, that would be wonderful. That's how we engage in a proper
Skipping
conversation.
puberty and delaying puberty would be much different.
I don't see how a child cannot consent to puberty
No, it's totally
blockers.
fine.
Do you think children can consent to sterilization?
Yes.